What's up guys, it is Ozzy from OzTalksHW and this is my $260 gaming PC. The inspiration behind this PC is that my little brothers actually needed $260 just for a computer, and so I used that money to, kind of see if I can make a well-built gaming PC for the budget. And well, this is what I got so far. So let's start with the actual parts. The CPU in this thing is the Athlon 860K. I actually really wanted to go for the Athlon 845 Excavator CPU that already released, but it's not really out in stores, so I couldn't get that in time for this video, so I just decided to go for the 860K, which I got for about $62, $63 off jet.com using one of their 15% off coupons. So quad core, it's great. I don't think my little brothers will need any more than this since they're not really using this for gaming that much. So this will be enough for whatever they need to do. So this is probably the best CPU I could get for this build. The next part up is the motherboard. I'm not really sure the model, but I know it's an Asus one, and it's actually kind of pricey. It's about $60, but the reason I spent so much on this motherboard, despite it not being able to overclock that well, is because it supports Excavator. So if I do want to upgrade to the 845, which I do plan on buying and reviewing later on, I can do so because the motherboard supports that, and not too many motherboards do that. So that's the main reason why I got this one. For the RAM, I basically chose the cheapest 8GB module that I could find, and it was about $28, I believe, for one stick of 8GB of DDR3 1600 MHz RAM. The model, again, I'm not so sure because the model on RAM doesn't matter as much as it does as other parts, but again, it's reliable and it works, and that's all I really needed. The hard drive I chose is 250GB. It's a SATA hard drive, 7200 RPM. It's a little bit on the lower side. Actually, it's actually a lot on the lower side, not a little bit. But again, my brothers are not going to be using this for gaming, and if they do use it for gaming, it's not going to be very heavy games. So the file size is probably going to be about 10 gigs at max for any games that they want to play. So this will provide them with enough space, and I can always upgrade in the future if I really want to. As for the video card, I got the GTX 465 1GB DDR5 video card for about $46 on eBay. And at first I was pretty wary of getting this since it's a 2 to 3 generation old video card. It runs a little bit hotter, pulls a little bit more watts. It does not support DirectX 12, but I was pleasantly surprised by its performance for only $46, and we'll get into that later. The case is a do-it-yourself, DIY. I'm not too sure if you pronounce it do-it-yourself or DIY, but it's whatever that is, PC. Again, I'm not sure the model, but it was only $25, which is the reason I got it. It looks pretty nice. It has LEDs and everything, has 2 fans pre-installed, and it supports USB 3.0, but unfortunately the motherboard didn't, so I can't really use the USB 3.0 on the case. But no matter, I'm really happy with this case so far. It does have a little bit of flex to it, but again, it's only $25, so I can't complain too much about the case. Lastly, to power everything, I have the EVGA 500 watt power supply. I was gonna go 430, but I was a bit wary with the GTX 465 pulling a lot of power. So I decided to just up it up a little bit since it's only $5 more to the 500 watt edition. So after building it, I decided to benchmark it, and all of these benchmarks ran at 1080p stock settings, so no overclock on anything. But these are the results, and I was pleasantly surprised. When playing Smite, which is a lighter MOBA game, I played at ultra settings. My min was actually 35, my max was 150, and my average was 51 frames per second, which is very, very good for a 5-year-old card, I believe. So with Dirt 3, which is a bit heavier than Smite, but still on the lighter side of games, at ultra settings, no AA, I was able to get about 34 minimum, 46.1 average, and about somewhere between 60 and 62 for the maximum. When I went to heavier games, Fallout at medium settings on the medium preset, my minimum was 19, which is not very good. My average was about 37, and my maximum was 65. So average at 37, it's still playable. I think anything above 30 is playable. So you're still getting a very good game environment for the price of what you paid for the actual graphics card. And for the last game, which was actually Far Cry 4, again at medium settings, I was able to get an average of 29, a maximum of 60, and a minimum of 10. So not very playable. I would have to turn down the settings a little bit more. But again, I'm not expecting too much from this graphics card. And for what it does, it's pretty amazing. So for only $260, and if you really research your parts, you can get a very playable system that can run games, current gen games at 1080p. So that's it for this guys, for this video, I'll just say that. That's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know. If you liked it, like it. If you loved it, subscribe. All that good stuff. I'll have more videos coming out soon, and I appreciate everything. We're at 760 subscribers, which is awesome. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.